Well, good evening, Codger Biker here, and this is me on my newest bike, which is a Royal Enfield Interceptor 650 in Barcelona blue, and his name is Miguel. Hello, amigo. Don't know why, but that's what he calls himself. I think it's the Barcelona blue connection. I go along with it, and it's an evening, sun's out, not much traffic about for this area, and it's basically why I got this bike. This is my favourite kind of riding. I have to say, so far I absolutely love this bike. I know it will irk the purists because it hasn't got spoke wheels, but I'm not having inner tubes. I did look at various other Royal Enfield offerings, but I've always liked this bike. It's, to me, the kind of riding that I grew up with, the closest you can get an air-cooled twin 650. Nothing, I couldn't afford anything like this when I was a kid, just no chance. That's what I would have had if I could have afforded it. So yeah, I'm living out a little dream, I suppose, and I suppose it appeals to my age group. This bike's got an LED front headlight, everything else is bulbs. It's got fuel injection and ABS, and that's it. Everything else just more or less traditional. So yeah, look, the purists with the wheels that it's got on it, but I don't really care. This is everything I want at the moment. I'm loving it. Anyway, I picked it up yesterday, so here's a bit of the very first opinion of the very first ride on the bike. I bought this without test riding it. That's how sure I was that I was going to like it. It also helped that they're absolutely bargain prices at the moment. I think it's something to do with the distributor swapping from one to another. They've got some stock that they're selling off. It's brand new. It's currently done 31 miles. I thought the speedo was broken, that it was said 313 miles, but that's my long-sightedness. It's actually 31.3 on there. Oh, I do like my twin clocks. It'd be nice to have a nice screen to keep the wind off you, but it's not that kind of bike. It's a very, very windy day today. I don't know if you can see that in the trees. So, yes, I'm having a ride on my, oh yes, you heard it, Barcelona blue Royal Enfield Interceptor 650. Had a ride on a Norton Commando a few weeks back. Decided I wanted that kind of bike, but not at 16 grand or whatever it would have cost me. I'd have had to pay the same as this bike plus my Honda to buy a Norton. And some of you might say, well, you get a Norton at the end of it. True enough, but I wasn't impressed enough with the Norton to give all that up. So I've got this on a special deal. They're selling them off cheap for just over £5,000 for a brand new bike. It's not pre-registered, it's brand new, and so far I'm loving it. It just reminds me of my MZ. So the seat is renowned for not being very comfortable. I can feel that it's not an all-day seat, that's for sure. The handlebars are a little bit far away from my arms, I'll be honest. Bar risers are going on there. The suspension is limited but fine for road use, which is what it is. It's a road bike so far anyway. Very nimble around town, picks up nicely. I was expecting it to be a little more sluggish than this, but no, it's quite good. Anyway, I'm about to go on the motorway with it, so I'll have a better idea in a minute. Of course, because I'm leaning forward a little bit, going into a very strong headwind like today, it's quite nice. I've got the wrong helmet on. I've got my peaked helmet on, but never mind. We're about to find out. I can't rev it much beyond 4,000 revs as I'm running it in. So here I am on a UK motorway in 6th gear at 4,000 revs doing 60 miles an hour, which is as fast as I want to go at the moment, and it's fine. I mean, it's a very breezy day. This is not a light bike for its size. It's about 220 kilograms, and although it doesn't feel like it, I think it's quite handy on a day like this because it's not really moving about much in the wind. It's a bit like a weeble. So apologies if there's any wind noise, but it is a very windy day, and here's me on a naked bike, sit up and beg, with a peaked helmet, doing 60 and it's barely breaking a sweat. We're not even halfway to the red line, but as I say, it's running in time, so we'll follow the schedule. So far, very impressed. What don't I like? I think I'd like to replace those mirrors with the Enfield touring mirrors, which just look better, although they work fine. There's no vibrations much in them. I can see what's going on. There's a Mini behind me. I think that I'd have no worries, say, doing a couple of 100 miles on the motorway on this bike. Very, very blustery today, very strong wind. And the thing is, feels very solid. I feel like you sit on top of the bike a bit more than I was expecting. But it's not a high bike. Compared to many modern bikes it isn't anyway. It feels really good. Obviously it feels very different to my 235 kilogram Honda NT1100, but it's got quite a bit of torque to it, this thing, which is what I like. Obviously no gadgets, just a simple bike, fuel injected, ABS, tubeless wheels. What more do you want? And I love the colour, the blue and the orange, real 1970s. It's got like a bit of glitter in the paint as well. I was keen on the Black Ray, the all black bike, but my wife said she preferred the blue, and she's not called She Must Be Obeyed for nothing, so the blue one it is. And I have to say, she does have a very good taste. I mean, she married me for a start, so you know. Enough said. But there's no gear indicator, doesn't bother me. But oh, it's a beautiful thing, I love it. So my early thoughts are, for my £5,000, did I make a mistake? I can't think where else I could spend £5,000 to get this much enjoyment. Not even that sandwich I had in Prague that time. So no, I'm really enjoying it. So let's take a little ride and see what else I notice, if anything. Compared to the Honda, this feels like not a toy, but not a bicycle. It's quite heavy when it's on the stand and you're moving it about in the driveway, but nowhere near as heavy as the Honda. But you do know it's not a bicycle then. But riding it, it's just such a lovely experience. I would have had to part exchange my Honda and pay another £6 or so, and I honestly can't see any difference really between that and this. Alright, it's got the Norton name, it's got the Norton finish, I would like that, but not £10,000 worth of like. So I've got a similar experience. I've got what I wanted, twin clocks, I wanted tubeless wheels. The Norton doesn't do tubeless wheels, so I'd have had to convert the Norton, so there's another £2 probably, or probably 1,000 anyway. So for £10,000 less, sorry, for £6,000 less, and I get to keep my Honda, I get this, a true modern retro, air and oil cooled twin cylinder 650. And I have to say, suspension apart, to be honest, it's a bit crashy this. I think this is a better bike. Sorry Norton owners, and don't get me wrong, I would still have a Norton tomorrow if it was the same price. I would have got the Norton. If the Norton was the same price as this, I would have got the Norton. But I just can't justify that amount of money, because let's face it, I'd only be doing this if I got a Norton now, but I'd be freaking out over scratching it or wearing the engine out, whereas with this I feel quite happy to just use it. A beautiful analog rev counter, beautiful analog spinner, which I think look better than the Norton ones. Never mind, with this little bike, watch this. I can just go like this, whiz round it, like so. And do that. Of course, your thing is to go into neutral, isn't it? Then you know what gear you're in when you change. This is the most bonkers set of traffic lights I've ever seen in my life. That's mad. Anyway, we're through it. So that's how you handle not having a gear indicator. Just go into neutral when you stop, and then you know where you are. Simples. Now, some people said that the fueling on this is a bit jerky, but whilst I understand what they mean, compared to my Honda, this is as smooth as. Also, there's some very simple changes you can do with fuel X and things, which I'll probably get onto if I ever change the end cans. So, as a baseline, I think it's pretty smooth anyway. Depends what you're used to. There's an electric motorbike, look. No crash helmet, no insurance, no tax, no licence. Look at your phone. The police of the country do nothing about it. Who's the mugs? Me, who just paid insurance on this, taxed it yesterday. Had to take 3 tests or whatever it is these days. Wear a crash helmet, can't touch your phone. Or just get an electric motorbike like that and put a mask on. Fine. This is England. Leaving on a jet plane, don't know when I'll be back again. Yeah, there you can feel a bit crashy on the front. There's no adjustment on the front, so you have to put up with it, ride around it basically. Off-road. Okay, here we are. Hello everybody, we all right? Just visiting with my bike. I hope I don't disturb you. Okay, so there it is, Royal Enfield Interceptor 650 Barcelona blue with no inner tubes and a beautiful speckly blue tank. You can't see it so much when the sun shines on it. There's like a speckle in it. I am terrified of damaging it, so I'm going to put some sticky film on there, I think, because my zip touches it. My legs not so much. My legs seem to be pressed against that. Not on that side, but on this side definitely my leg is against that. I know you can get some different foot pegs. I'm not changing all those at the moment. I'm going to ride around it and get used to it. The only thing I've done to it so far, the eagle-eyed amongst you will have spotted, is I bought a rack from Tech Bike Parts, fitted that. I fitted my top box. I fitted my tail bag, which I know some people don't like, but the reason it's on, I'll just show you, is I've got my waterproof, my Scott's waterproof trousers, my compressor, and I've got my plug for punctures. Dyno plug I use mainly, but I've got a bigger one if necessary. So all that fits in there. You don't know it's on the bike. So there she is. No, sorry Miguel, there he is. Oh, hey, everybody happy, la 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 la. Oh, where your mama gone? So Barcelona blue Interceptor, but it was the orange on it. It just says to me 70s retro. Black cans, blacked out engine, black wheels, none of that polishing stuff, no spokes. I'm not interested in spokes. Hated the tubes. So yeah, I'm really pleased with it. More than anything, just the way it rides. Just for this sort of I mean, it's a Saturday evening. I've not been invited to the discotheque, so I've come out on my bike instead. I've got to say, it's fantastic. Oh, the eagle-eyed amongst you might also notice, there's a lot of people say the seat's uncomfortable. I don't know yet, but I had a mesh seat left over from my 690 Enduro R, which I also had on the MZ. So I stole it, I've just fitted it on there, it goes straight on. So I've got a mesh seat. And before you ask, it was off Amazon about 4 years ago and there's no sign of it now. So I'll do a little video about it, just to give the dimensions really, but I think that they're easy to get off AliExpress or whatever. I think it's 2 foot long and 8 inches wide, something like that. So yeah, what a beautiful bike. I'm so happy. It's the first bike I've had for a long time where I'm as happy looking at it as I am riding it, and I absolutely love riding it. So that tells you something. It's not for everybody. I always say that about my bikes. I have my own taste in things, but I just think it's beautiful. Look at my twin cans. I'll give you a view of them, but I think it looks better from the back than the Norton. Sorry Norton, I just do. And it's more realistically priced as well. Whether it will last as long, who knows. It'll never be worth as much, I agree. But for what I want, why would I spend another 10 grand when I can have it with that? Coming along the tank, look at my chrome bar. Oh, it's just beautiful. Just enough tastelessness on the orange to irk the purists. And on that fantastic note, Codger Biker is out. Right, I think I'll ride home then.